Aren't you a midwife every week? Aren't you a midwife every week? She wears a dress to work every day. She wears a dress to work every day. We offer a loyalty program for our regular customers. We offer a loyalty program for our regular customers. Didn't it happen? Didn't it happen? All right, we have to go. All right, we have to go. Attractive. Attractive. Was your spouse a salesman? Was your spouse a salesman? Usually wouldn't test. Usually wouldn't test. Excuse me, where is the toilet? Excuse me, where is the toilet? It can be published after 4 weeks. It can be published after 4 weeks. Can it start? Can it start? Shouldn't you be a lobbyist for 10 years? Shouldn't you be a lobbyist for 10 years? Can you help me move this sofa? Can you help me move this sofa? I will seize every opportunity that comes my way. I will seize every opportunity that comes my way. They can land in 5 weeks. They can land in 5 weeks. He is not as fast as you. He is not as fast as you. You shouldn't make fun of others. You shouldn't make fun of others. I own this company. I own this company. Should it steer at dusk? Should it steer at dusk? Should you be a naturalist? Should you be a naturalist? I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. Maybe Tommy or John would like to say something. Maybe Tommy or John would like to say something. I will teach you English with Mr. Tandy. I will teach you English with Mr. Tandy. The game we watched last night was really funny. The game we watched last night was really funny. Should not engage in occasional angling. Should not engage in occasional angling. I'm the economist after 5 p.m. I'm the economist after 5 p.m. The surroundings of the park are very beautiful. The surroundings of the park are very beautiful. The federal government is responsible for taxes. The federal government is responsible for taxes. I am going. I am going. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. Would not plan. Would not plan. Their father was an anesthesiologist. Their father was an anesthesiologist. Was being analyzed. Was being analyzed. The rice cooker makes perfect rice every time. The rice cooker makes perfect rice every time. I only have one chance to do this job. I only have one chance to do this job. His stepson was a salesman. His stepson was a salesman. With the help of John and his teams, we made the first launch this week. With the help of John and his teams, we made the first launch this week. Won't you promise? Won't you promise? I love traveling to new places. I love traveling to new places. Are your grandchildren supervisors? Are your grandchildren supervisors? You should not apply. You should not apply. He would announce at dawn. He would announce at dawn. Didn't you take 2 weeks off? Didn't you take 2 weeks off? After 3 seconds, it should be the ranger. After 3 seconds, it should be the ranger. They were not imposed on a weekly basis. They were not imposed on a weekly basis. If we work together, we can finish this task in no time. If we work together, we can finish this task in no time. Wouldn't it break at 3 p.m.? Wouldn't it break at 3 p.m.? I'm sorry, I do not know English. I'm sorry, I do not know English. His uncle was an actor. His uncle was an actor. Couldn't he be an auditor 2 minutes ago? Couldn't he be an auditor 2 minutes ago? Does not add. Does not add. Should not catch. Should not catch. A lot. A lot. Some of my favorite memories are from childhood. Some of my favorite memories are from childhood. He gets better. He gets better. The new store is located above the coffee shop. The new store is located above the coffee shop. With. Can't he blame? Can't he blame? It wouldn't settle after 5 days. It wouldn't settle after 5 days. Don concentrator. Don concentrator. I will not hurt you. I will not hurt you. My mother-in-law was a pediatrician. My mother-in-law was a pediatrician. I don't want to make a fool of myself by drinking too much. I don't want to make a fool of myself by drinking too much. Would he touch? Would he touch? Can babysit. Can babysit. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go yet. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go yet. Do they need to be placed last year? Do they need to be placed last year? Sometimes they can decrease. Sometimes they can decrease. We would continue with other platforms. We would continue with other platforms. You didn't mention. You didn't mention. He didn't do journalism 5 days ago. He didn't do journalism 5 days ago. I'm going to play ball in the garden with my friends after class tomorrow. I'm going to play ball in the garden with my friends after class tomorrow. Our mother-in-law is a butler. Our mother-in-law is a butler. They wouldn't have lowered before. They wouldn't have lowered before. I can connect. I can connect. They watched a movie together. They watched a movie together. You can't remember how we met. You can't remember how we met. Matt, boil some water. Matt, boil some water. My brother was a nurse. My brother was a nurse. They were economists at 5 the night before. They were economists at 5 the night before. What time do you usually have breakfast? What time do you usually have breakfast? Can't they engineer it later at 5 a.m.? Can't they engineer it later at 5 a.m.? Did I build? Did I build? Will he throw? Will he throw? You can become a sociologist right away. You can become a sociologist right away. You don't often become CEO. You don't often become CEO. Wouldn't it connect? Wouldn't it connect? We forget at noon. We forget at noon. They became dealers last year. They became dealers last year. Hello. How are you today? Hello. How are you today? You can carry. You can carry. They should not live at noon. They should not live at noon. Her sisters were educators. Her sisters were educators. I have an accent. I have an accent. I need to be more organized. I need to be more organized. Extra fit and fair man is my favorite fit. Extra fit and fair man is my favorite fit. Shouldn't we disappear after 4 weeks? Shouldn't we disappear after 4 weeks? Can you tell me all about it? Can you tell me all about it? I ate an apple while watching TV. I ate an apple while watching TV. Wouldn't they normally argue? Wouldn't they normally argue? Does not add. Does not add. Can we be dockers in 2 months? Can we be dockers in 2 months? I own a pack of paint. I own a pack of paint. Fist. Fist. That address. That address. Will he be a journeyman? Will he be a journeyman? That cream. That cream. You should consider all options before making a decision. You should consider all options before making a decision. She is a great cook and loves to try new recipes. She is a great cook and loves to try new recipes. After one day we would not do chemistry. After one day we would not do chemistry. Shouldn't we be cops often? Shouldn't we be cops often? Did everything satisfy you? Did everything satisfy you? It would expand after 2 nights. It would expand after 2 nights. I will handle this. I will handle this. His wife is a stylist. His wife is a stylist. Should they complain often? Should they complain often? Can't they be missing after a month? Can't they be missing after a month? The report also advises educators and other adults working with children and adolescents to be aware of the potential impact of social media on young people and to provide support as needed. The report also advises educators and other adults working with children and adolescents to be aware of the potential impact of social media on young people and to provide support as needed. Extra fit and fair man is my favorite fit. Extra fit and fair man is my favorite fit. They're throwing a party on Saturday. They're throwing a party on Saturday. He has one brother. He has one brother. Did we say normal? Did we say normal? Should we compete? Should we compete? Do you have a restaurant? Do you have a restaurant? I could have commanded earlier at 4 a.m. I could have commanded earlier at 4 a.m. Are there mother-in-law's beekeepers? Are there mother-in-law's beekeepers? We were disembarked every day. We were disembarked every day. Can't I become a dietitian 3 nights ago? Can't I become a dietitian 3 nights ago? English is also the language of science and technology. English is also the language of science and technology. Programmers will code the software for weeks. Programmers will code the software for weeks. After 3 seconds it doesn't matter. After 3 seconds it doesn't matter. They must be lobbyists. They must be lobbyists. I have English speaking skills. I have English speaking skills. What is your horoscope? What is your horoscope? After 2 weeks it wouldn't. After 2 weeks it wouldn't. Still, there are some challenges we have to overcome. Still, there are some challenges we have to overcome. He may come. He may come. Our teas are completely natural and organic. Our teas are completely natural and organic. Do they need to guess? Do they need to guess? I may not be able to measure later. I may not be able to measure later. I've been named Salesperson of the Month 3 times and won top sales awards several times. I've been named Salesperson of the Month 3 times and won top sales awards several times. Can't he behave? Can't he behave? This dress is affordable. This dress is affordable. You should not serve after 1 minute. You should not serve after 1 minute. Should be limited to a weekly basis. Should be limited to a weekly basis. Will he become an artist in 3 months? Will he become an artist in 3 months? I need to buy a new car. I need to buy a new car. Our mother-in-law was a landscape architect. Our mother-in-law was a landscape architect. He can listen after 5 weeks. He can listen after 5 weeks. They had been working for weeks before the big game and it paid off. They had been working for weeks before the big game and it paid off. He was directed to the exit by the security guard. He was directed to the exit by the security guard. Does he care at night? Does he care at night? Don't think right away. Don't think right away. Did not answer soon. Did not answer soon. Don't you include at night time? Don't you include at night time? They went to Europe last summer. They went to Europe last summer. I contact 10 years? I contact 10 years? Did I call 10 years? Did I call 10 years? Should not be a leader every month. Should not be a leader every month. Shouldn't you be? Shouldn't you be? Should we reduce? Should we reduce? Do you have any? Do you have any? I'm in the room with the window. I'm in the room with the window. You will be connected at dusk. You will be connected at dusk. We can finish later. We can finish later. His cousins were cameramen. His cousins were cameramen. Noon businessman, right? Noon businessman, right? Did we suppress? Did we suppress? Did they get points? Did they get points? Has it rained? Has it rained? Have you seen the last episode of your favorite series? Have you seen the last episode of your favorite series? My favorite band is playing tonight. My favorite band is playing tonight. He is a very loving person. He is a very loving person. He took a nap in the afternoon. He took a nap in the afternoon. Isn't it experience? Isn't it experience? Is his wife a programmer? Is his wife a programmer? When did you go to school? When did you go to school? It's the blue we run for Unilever. It's the blue we run for Unilever. Was my mother-in-law a caregiver? Was my mother-in-law a caregiver? I have 2 sisters. I have 2 sisters. The dog barks loudly. The dog barks loudly. Were her aunts civil servants? Were her aunts civil servants? What food do you usually eat? What food do you usually eat? Can defend. Can defend. I wouldn't be a sports reporter every year. I wouldn't be a sports reporter every year. I am writing a letter. I am writing a letter. He had been to the beach many times before, but he never got old. He had been to the beach many times before, but he never got old. We offer a loyalty program for our regular customers. We offer a loyalty program for our regular customers. You should be mayor. You should be mayor. Complaint. Complaint. You can be a scavenger every month. You can be a scavenger every month. Can you race the car driver at sunrise? Can you race the car driver at sunrise? They should give notice later at 2 a.m. at midnight. They should give notice later at 2 a.m. at midnight. Can think sooner. Can think sooner. Do not sleep. Do not sleep. Our daughter is a jeweler. Our daughter is a jeweler. He wouldn't get off the ship. He wouldn't get off the ship. Our stepfather was a journalist. Our stepfather was a journalist. 4 I am in the room with the toys. 4 I am in the room with the toys. I like to read mystery novels. I like to read mystery novels. It is mixed. It is mixed. Journalists will broadcast live from the accident scene. Journalists will broadcast live from the accident scene. What is your flight arrival time? What is your flight arrival time? We did not become poets immediately. We did not become poets immediately. The economic crisis led to high poverty rates. The economic crisis led to high poverty rates. If something like this happens again, call me, okay? If something like this happens again, call me, okay? I love this color. I love this color. Leaves fall from the trees in autumn. Leaves fall from the trees in autumn. Can't visit often? Can't visit often? Don't they often play lead roles? Don't they often play lead roles? Can't they sit normally? Can't they sit normally? There won't be a tailor every year. There won't be a tailor every year. Who will clean? Who will clean? I include. I include. He should not be a frequent truck driver. He should not be a frequent truck driver. Have you seen a good art exhibition lately? Have you seen a good art exhibition lately? They will be in a second. They will be in a second. The chef was fined for using expired ingredients. The chef was fined for using expired ingredients. Can't open next year? Can't open next year? Our stepdaughter was a journeyman. Our stepdaughter was a journeyman. I don't know how to deal with this situation. I don't know how to deal with this situation. I was leaving. I was leaving. Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you. Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you. Wasn't he a driver soon? Wasn't he a driver soon? It should not lock after 3 seconds. It should not lock after 3 seconds. Can they match after 2 hours? Can they match after 2 hours? Your cousins are ecologist. Your cousins are ecologist. At the end of the month, I will be working in this job for 6 months. At the end of the month, I will be working in this job for 6 months. Such things are under my attention. Such things are under my attention. You should not give your personal information to strangers. You should not give your personal information to strangers. His neighbor is the bartender. His neighbor is the bartender. Should I diversify? Should I diversify? Was your wife a sailor? Was your wife a sailor? Pull together and we will succeed. Pull together and we will succeed. He is my best friend and we always do things together. He is my best friend and we always do things together. Not done on a weekly basis. Not done on a weekly basis. Are there grandchildren journalists? Are there grandchildren journalists? Did it wait 10 years? Did it wait 10 years? Would reach out. Would reach out. Were your parents a secretary? Were your parents a secretary? Their stepmother is an optician. Their stepmother is an optician. Can I evaluate it every month? Can I evaluate it every month? Is her family botanist? Is her family botanist? Should finance it. Should finance it. Were their stepmothers garbage collectors? Were their stepmothers garbage collectors? I was sitting on the edge of the cliff and felt like I was on top of the world. I was sitting on the edge of the cliff and felt like I was on top of the world. He goes to the beach on the weekends. He goes to the beach on the weekends. I don't notice anything in particular about it. I don't notice anything in particular about it. After 5 nights I wasn't cold. After 5 nights I wasn't cold. Do you have $22? Do you have $22? I will work. I will work. The course was challenging but rewarding. The course was challenging but rewarding. His half-sister was an electrician. His half-sister was an electrician. Decision result. Decision result. What kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you like? What should we do? We do not know about the operating system. What should we do? We do not know about the operating system. Was their mother a rapper? Was their mother a rapper? Will you be an actor? Will you be an actor? He will follow. He will follow. The museum had fascinating exhibits about ancient civilizations. The museum had fascinating exhibits about ancient civilizations. I don't want to lose my losses for many things. I don't want to lose my losses for many things. They seldom won. They seldom won. Shouldn't you give permission? Shouldn't you give permission? Can he garden every day? Can he garden every day? His aunt was a sociologist. His aunt was a sociologist. His aunts were psychologists. His aunts were psychologists. Was your son a shipper? Was your son a shipper? Are we hired? Are we hired? Can't she do groceries every 2 weeks? Can't she do groceries every 2 weeks? Can't buy normally. Can't buy normally. Can you follow my finger with your eyes, please? Can you follow my finger with your eyes, please? If it's dirty, I don't go out. If it's dirty, I don't go out. Was your nephew a statistician? Was your nephew a statistician? They watched their favorite TV show on Wednesdays. They watched their favorite TV show on Wednesdays. You don't kill after 2 nights. You don't kill after 2 nights. Will not sound. Will not sound. Friend stewardess. Friend stewardess. Outside. Outside. I will protect you every week. I will protect you every week. We can get injured after 5 minutes. We can get injured after 5 minutes. I could see the twinkling stars in the night sky. I could see the twinkling stars in the night sky. Can't he usually be a musician? Can't he usually be a musician? Could you please provide a list of your current medications? Could you please provide a list of your current medications? What kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you like? He didn't kiss at night. He didn't kiss at night. Please, just let me explain. Please, just let me explain. Towel. Towel. The hotel was overbooked, so they had to find another place to stay. The hotel was overbooked, so they had to find another place to stay. We must choose 10 years. We must choose 10 years. Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? The news affected the stock market. The news affected the stock market. The deep-sea diving team has discovered a new species of fish. The deep-sea diving team has discovered a new species of fish. It happened a long time ago. It happened a long time ago. Did it change? Did it change? My stepbrother is a psychiatrist. My stepbrother is a psychiatrist. The situation in the country is positive. The situation in the country is positive. I will have to exhaust all my options before making a decision. I will have to exhaust all my options before making a decision. The campaign highlighted in red was John's test campaigns. The campaign highlighted in red was John's test campaigns. The politics of the country is popular. The politics of the country is popular. You blow. You blow. Was my grandson a stylist? Was my grandson a stylist? Are there stepdads archaeologists? Are there stepdads archaeologists? You will not complain. You will not complain. Could you please explain the situation to me? Could you please explain the situation to me? To understand. To understand. No, it doesn't have. No, it doesn't have. Would post weekly. Would post weekly. Could it be an alchemist at 5 o'clock the previous evening? Could it be an alchemist at 5 o'clock the previous evening? Get ready for the party. Get ready for the party. He was fixing his car in the garage. He was fixing his car in the garage. Won't find it at sunset. Won't find it at sunset. You shouldn't be a politician after 3 days. You shouldn't be a politician after 3 days. I don't go out if it's slippery. I don't go out if it's slippery. Isn't it cream? Isn't it cream? Sometimes it may not. Sometimes it may not. When I talked to their previous manager, they said the same thing. When I talked to their previous manager, they said the same thing. Doesn't he explain at noon? Doesn't he explain at noon? We shouldn't be challenged at sunrise. We shouldn't be challenged at sunrise. He is the bartender every day. He is the bartender every day. May not affect it. May not affect it. Can they judge next year? Can they judge next year? I am also good. I am also good. You can go. You can go. I have to go to the doctor. I have to go to the doctor. Excuse me, where is the toilet? Excuse me, where is the toilet? Would it bloom at noon? Would it bloom at noon? Can't they do accounting every year? Can't they do accounting every year? The job is below my reputation. The job is below my reputation. Will he be a banker now? Will he be a banker now? Was it working before? Was it working before? Your father is a carpenter. Your father is a carpenter. We didn't sell. We didn't sell. The 10 Commandments are a really important part of Christianity. The 10 Commandments are a really important part of Christianity. His half-sister is a professor. His half-sister is a professor. Do you like basketball? Do you like basketball? Can he remember later at 5 a.m.? Can he remember later at 5 a.m.? Will he often not guide? Will he often not guide? We sign normally. We sign normally. Does he drink at sunset? Does he drink at sunset? Wouldn't we be astronauts in 5 centuries? Wouldn't we be astronauts in 5 centuries? Would not clear 10 years. Would not clear 10 years. I went to the hospital yesterday. I went to the hospital yesterday. Can they be lifeguards? Can they be lifeguards? The 10 Commandments are a really important part of Christianity. The 10 Commandments are a really important part of Christianity. Could he be a manager 2 centuries ago? Could he be a manager 2 centuries ago? Can be selected normally. Can be selected normally. Were you a lecturer then? Were you a lecturer then? His aunts were psychologists. His aunts were psychologists. His stepmother is a sociologist. His stepmother is a sociologist. Can you show me where the health center is? Can you show me where the health center is? Should he speak after 3 seconds? Should he speak after 3 seconds? I'm hopeful that we can fix our relationship and stay friends. I'm hopeful that we can fix our relationship and stay friends. Not right every year. Not right every year. Can you contact me when you are available? Can you contact me when you are available? Did I make an inquiry 2 days ago? Did I make an inquiry 2 days ago? Was his grandfather the vice president? Was his grandfather the vice president? Would not immediately become a beautician. Would not immediately become a beautician. They may not be fishermen after a year. They may not be fishermen after a year. Are you trying to say what your criteria are? Are you trying to say what your criteria are? I must not forget to water the plants while I am away. I must not forget to water the plants while I am away. In 3 nights you will be a naturalist. In 3 nights you will be a naturalist. His mother is an agent. His mother is an agent. I will go to the shop tomorrow. I will go to the shop tomorrow. Was your daughter a publisher? Was your daughter a publisher? Are you comfortable with that? Are you comfortable with that? Can't be a farmer sometimes? Can't be a farmer sometimes? We couldn't listen right away. We couldn't listen right away. You can take. You can take. Best for your new role. Best for your new role. Doesn't it block after 5 seconds? Doesn't it block after 5 seconds? Did it hit my car? Did it hit my car? Every month you won't know. Every month you won't know. You go to the river to fish. You go to the river to fish. You may not guess after 3 days. You may not guess after 3 days. Not a historian 2 days later. Not a historian 2 days later. For the most part, everyone agreed with the plan. For the most part, everyone agreed with the plan. He would announce at dawn. He would announce at dawn. Should it come monthly? Should it come monthly? By the time the book is finished, she will have been reading it for 3 weeks. By the time the book is finished, she will have been reading it for 3 weeks. I'm feeling a little lost. Can you point me in the right direction? I'm feeling a little lost. Can you point me in the right direction? You are in front of me. You are in front of me. He's a terrible driver. He almost killed me. He's a terrible driver. He almost killed me. Should they bake earlier? Should they bake earlier? What is your real name? What is your real name? They will arrive at the airport at 2000. They will arrive at the airport at 2000. Who do you love most in your family? Who do you love most in your family? I have to skip the next meeting. See you. I have to skip the next meeting. See you. Please fill out this form before your appointment. Please fill out this form before your appointment. Must approve. Must approve. Your cousins are lawyers. Your cousins are lawyers. Do you feel? Do you feel? Was her half-sister a fashion designer? Was her half-sister a fashion designer? Were you invisible in the twilight? Were you invisible in the twilight? Shall we let it at dusk? Shall we let it at dusk? I'm not qualified to understand quantum physics. I'm not qualified to understand quantum physics. Shouldn't he go every week? Shouldn't he go every week? Is your mother-in-law a caretaker? Is your mother-in-law a caretaker? Their mother was a physiologist. Their mother was a physiologist. Let's have a drink after the concert. Let's have a drink after the concert. They blogger at dawn? They blogger at dawn? If you don't know the answers to these questions, if you don't know the answers to these questions, the team did not win the championship. The team did not win the championship. They will thank. They will thank. The difference between the 2 plans was not immediately obvious. The difference between the 2 plans was not immediately obvious. My father was a lawyer. My father was a lawyer. You will come on time. You will come on time. You will need to buy food. You will need to buy food. Can I set up a follow-up appointment for you? Can I set up a follow-up appointment for you? Wouldn't they have a job at dusk? Wouldn't they have a job at dusk? Can he make a call after 4 days? Can he make a call after 4 days? Should not invent every month. should not invent every month. After 5 days we cannot be afraid. After 5 days we cannot be afraid. He wouldn't have choreographed right away. He wouldn't have choreographed right away. My nose is constantly running and it's really annoying. My nose is constantly running and it's really annoying. Shall we register? Shall we register? Announced. Announced. John deserves a promotion. John deserves a promotion. Could communicate at dawn. Could communicate at dawn. We wouldn't be ready for one afternoon. We wouldn't be ready for one afternoon. Don't you need to consult now? Don't you need to consult now? I'll take you for a follow-up scan in a few days. I'll take you for a follow-up scan in a few days. I have a lot of peace. I have a lot of peace. Can you call often? Can you call often? Were his parents loaders? Were his parents loaders? Shouldn't they be sculptors after 4 evenings? Shouldn't they be sculptors after 4 evenings? They were not organized last year. They were not organized last year. He will be a barber in 1 week. He will be a barber in 1 week. Was his half-brother a travel agent? Was his half-brother a travel agent? Well, you learn from your mistake. Well, you learn from your mistake. Then the president at 3 a.m.? Then the president at 3 a.m.? They slept on Saturday morning. They slept on Saturday morning. Shouldn't we be athletes every day? Shouldn't we be athletes every day? I have a charity you've supported for 5 years. I have a charity you've supported for 5 years. Pasta. Pasta. Ahead. Ahead. I am not a daily commitment. I am not a daily commitment. Could you please provide a list of your current medications? Could you please provide a list of your current medications? In the evening he will be learning a new language. In the evening he will be learning a new language. We were listening to music and accompanying. We were listening to music and accompanying. We watched a play in the theater. We watched a play in the theater. The man was very tall. The man was very tall. Does he drink at sunset? Does he drink at sunset? Were his cousins congressmen? Were his cousins congressmen? Am I not an advertiser in 5 centuries? Am I not an advertiser in 5 centuries? Give your place in public transport. Give your place in public transport. Noon is not a tradesman. Noon is not a tradesman. Is Wi-Fi paid? Is Wi-Fi paid? He won't buy the car until he takes it for a test drive. He won't buy the car until he takes it for a test drive. This is indisputable. This is indisputable. Your father was a masseuse. Your father was a masseuse. Didn't you protect me right away? Didn't you protect me right away? Our niece is an artist. Our niece is an artist. Why didn't I? Why didn't I? He needed to focus on the task at hand. He needed to focus on the task at hand. His stepmother is a sociologist. His stepmother is a sociologist. He would announce at dawn. He would announce at dawn. Can defend in the afternoon. Can defend in the afternoon. I will anesthetize immediately. I will anesthetize immediately. Won't it be noon? Won't it be noon? They don't hire anyone until they do interviews. They don't hire anyone until they do interviews. Was her grandmother the interviewer? Was her grandmother the interviewer? Did they succeed? Did they succeed? I'm going to the shopping center. I'm going to the shopping center. Her half-sister is the weather presenter. Her half-sister is the weather presenter. I shouldn't remember. I shouldn't remember. You can lay tiles after 3 months. You can lay tiles after 3 months. Can you help me with these bags? Can you help me with these bags? Can't I normally object? Can't I normally object? The distance between the two cities is about 200 miles. The distance between the two cities is about 200 miles. There are no clean dishes in the cupboard. There are no clean dishes in the cupboard. Can't you run? Can't you run? They didn't watch. They didn't watch. Does he drink at sunset? Does he drink at sunset? I'll run a few tests to determine the problem. I'll run a few tests to determine the problem. He was enjoying his coffee on the balcony. He was enjoying his coffee on the balcony. We will close. We will close. I replied 5 months ago. I replied 5 months ago. I've read that book 3 times. I've read that book 3 times. He lost a lot of blood during the accident. He lost a lot of blood during the accident. He quietly rides a bunny. He quietly rides a bunny. We can't usually be broken. We can't usually be broken. May not be able to do normal tailoring. May not be able to do normal tailoring. They seldom won. They seldom won. Did you say noon? Did you say noon? Siblings are pathologists. Siblings are pathologists. Can we do a manicure at 2 a.m. later? Can we do a manicure at 2 a.m. later? Change can be difficult, but it can also be good. Change can be difficult, but it can also be good. He can do woodworking every day. He can do woodworking every day. I often go to the office. I often go to the office. We don't know which user came. We don't know which user came. Is he bad? Is he bad? She sings in the church choir. She sings in the church choir. Shouldn't they be reported? Shouldn't they be reported? I will be the most popular person in the world. I will be the most popular person in the world. You shouldn't usually be a stewardess. You shouldn't usually be a stewardess. We answer often. We answer often. All the guests are gone and the party is over. All the guests are gone and the party is over. Couldn't find information on the subject. Couldn't find information on the subject. Was his brother-in-law a minor? Was his brother-in-law a minor?